Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime No Mi. Today, continuing with the One Piece videos, we will talk about the new chapter of the manga. In today's video we will continue with our video leaks from the chapter 1045 of One Piece, remembering that this is only information in text. We do not have all the information about all events yet, but the new information already allows us to discuss about the chapter, and I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here, and leave your comments saying your opinions and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, based on the spoilers of the new chapter of One Piece, the initial cover of chapter 1045 of One Piece will be a full color and commemorative cover. On this cover we will see the Straw Hats sitting together, and will be written on this same page a phrase. The phrase written is Sea of Freedom, referring to the freedom a pirate has while sailing the vast sea, and also making a connection to the meaning of Luffy's fruit that refers to something like liberation. The spoiler says that the chapter will be completely focused on Luffy's battle against Kaido, having only a few flashbacks to explain some events from the past that may be important for the context of the whole chapter. This battle will be a lot of fun, and this is a sentence said by the leaker himself. After all, we know that after the last events, the word fun has become a way to explain Luffy's powers. As we saw in the previous chapters, all Luffy's attacks and actions against Kaido make him always say that everything is very funny. Moreover, Luffy's actions resemble cartoons, and this affects Kaido as well, in that they both have the ability to make funny expressions with their faces, like their eyes popping out like in cartoons at times when the character might be scared, impressed, or at times when he might be moving too fast against his will, such as when Luffy catches Kaido and starts spinning the Yonko. As such, this confrontation will be completely different as it goes on this way. Luffy will also be using new and very comical abilities as Kaido tries to defeat him, but without success, as Luffy is much stronger than before. Based on the information from the author of this spoiler, we are going to have a lot of fun with the things Luffy will do during this fight. There will be plenty of funny scenes that even involve Kaido. Just as we said in the previous spoiler, even Kaido realized that Luffy's fruit has unusual characteristics, because he had the ability to use the powers of a paramecia and Zoan at the same time. Luffy was able to transform the desired environment into rubber just as an awakened paramecia allows. This makes him able to even reflect the powerful attacks that were used by Kaido aiming to hit Luffy. This ability to turn anything into rubber has several other uses, such as completely turning the ground into rubber to make it difficult for your opponent to move around. Meanwhile, Luffy could easily move across the ground because he may possess the ability to solidify the places he steps on so that he would not be affected by his own power, or he would even use the rubber of the ground to move even faster. Who knows, this new power of his could even turn human beings into rubber, making the body of enemies or allies completely elastic, preventing them from being attacked or stopping someone from attacking. This is not something impossible to happen in the story, since we saw Kid transform Big Mom into a metal conducting magnet with the powers of his awakened fruit, so Luffy, who possesses a unique awakening, should possess this ability to transform more than just objects into rubber. Kaido said that Luffy, as well as possessing the abilities of an awakened paramecia, also possesses the abilities of an awakened Zoan, such as the incredible strength, speed, endurance and other attributes that the Zoan fruit gives to the opponent. Luffy demonstrated a small part of this awakened power during the end of chapter 1044 when he managed to pull Kaido, who was in his dragon form. He did it with one hand with great ease. After pulling Kaido, he still managed to spin the Yonka several times, and soon after, we saw Luffy slam Kaido against the ground many times, which shows a great level of strength, a gigantic power, since being able to carry a gigantic dragon would be impossible for an ordinary person. As we predicted, Luffy now with his awakening, he would be able to mold his body any way he wanted, being able to expand his body completely so that he would increase his size and strength. Here on the channel we raised the possibility that he could just remodel himself to become giant, and this was proven in the chapter. We hit another theory. With his new technique called Gomu Gomu no Giant, Luffy makes his whole body increase in size, and this makes Luffy really become a giant. At this point it is said that he even looks like a god because of his gigantic and frightening appearance, and this by other characters who witnessed this transformation. Possibly Luffy uses this transformation to be able to confront Kaido in his dragon form, because in his small form it would be very difficult for Luffy to do any damage to Kaido's body, which has great resistance. Through this increase, Luffy will be able to further expand his physical power. This giant transformation may even be a transformation similar to Bound Man, Tank Man and Snake Man, for it is said that in this transformation, Luffy looks like a god, so his body can be covered by Haki like his Gear 4 transformation, or covered by a sun-like light. After all, he possesses the power of the sun god. Regardless of how this transformation will be done, we know what it can offer Luffy, even more abilities capable of causing great damage to Kaido's body. In the spoiler it is said that Yamato and Momonosuke go to the top of Onigashima. Most likely they get there quickly through the powers of Momonosuke, who was in his dragon transformation, so they got to see some of of the fight between Luffy and Kaido, and they were the ones who were most impressed by Luffy's powers. When they arrive there, they see Luffy's new giant transformation, which causes them to be completely amazed at the size and strength that Luffy obtained in this transformation. Even Yamato and Momonosuke realized that Luffy looked like a deity. Because of his new Gear 5 transformation and the incessant exchange of blows between Luffy and Kaido, Luffy runs out of energy to continue the fight. His body is completely tired and he can't even walk. This is because of the inner fights. After all, he spent a lot of time fighting Kaido, Big Mom and Kaido's pirates. Because of that, he couldn't do anything else. Everything seemed lost again in this confrontation because Luffy again couldn't hurt Kaido. But unexpectedly, Luffy causes his heart to start pumping blood again, thus regaining his energy again, allowing him to return to combat with renewed energy. Something very similar is done by Enel during the Skypiea arc. Through his power of electricity, Enel was able to use discharges in his heart to be able to revive after an attack that had hit him. Luffy also managed to do something very similar, but instead of reviving, he was able to get his heart to pump even more blood through his body, allowing him to stay in the fight even longer. It is said that this chapter will have a flashback of Kaido, probably telling some important information from his past, such as how he was living with the pirates Rocks and his captain Zebek, especially quotes about Joy Boy. After all, his past may even be related to why and when he learned about Joy Boy, because during the fight against Luffy, he showed that he has some knowledge about this very important figure who lived in the past. Many believe that Kaido even tried to become Joy Boy, but he saw that he couldn't because it was something beyond what he could do for himself, so he became the powerful pirate we see in the present. There are many possibilities of what this flashback is about, but this flashback must be very important because normally Oda uses flashbacks to complement some information given during the chapter, so it may actually have a link from his past with the pirate Rocks, or with his past trying to become or find Joy Boy. Also, we know that Kaido has been in Wano for a long time, and we didn't know his real motivations for being there, but after a while, we saw him talking about his plan. But it was during the most recent chapters that we found out that Kaido knows that there is something in Wano that no one else knows, something very important, and that may involve Joy Boy. And at the end of this chapter, Luffy is said to strike Kaido in the face. It is not known if they were still in their transformed form, but it is quite likely that this attack did great damage to Kaido's body. For during this attack, Luffy asks Kaido if this fight was being too funny, and thus ends chapter 1045 of One Piece. Throughout the week, more spoilers will be released about the events of this chapter, but from what we have been shown in this leak, this chapter will be amazing and will focus on Luffy's new powers. Just as all fans expected, Luffy will finally be able to obtain a giant form because now his body would be able to change completely without having a limitation. Luffy only had the ability to make a part of his body grow through air that he injected into his body to make them bigger, and now with his new powers, he will be able to become a real giant. It is very likely that now there is no need for Luffy to inject air into his body because, as we saw in chapter 1044, Luffy was able to make his arm extremely long and stretch it over a great distance with ease, meaning that after the awakening of his fruit, his body is fully modifiable without the need for a modifying aid. Luffy could easily overcome all the powers of Gear 3. Another very interesting event is the fact that Luffy has managed to restore his energy, which shows a little more about what the Gorosei meant about Luffy's new powers. Now he seems to have no more limitations in battle. But comment on what you thought about the leaks of One Piece chapter 1045. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.